Thanks for being here on Arbor Day to celebrate with us. Very happy to be here at Lions Park. My name is Dave Hall, and I'm the Forestry Grounds Superintendent for the Village of Mount Prospect. And I'm very excited to be here at Lions Park Elementary, actually, where I did the first Arbor Day that I ever did with the village was here at your school. So it's really nice to be back here to do it again. Just to introduce some of the people that are up here with me on stage, we've got our Mayor Arlene Juracek, Trustee Hofert, Trustee Sacatelli, Trustee Hatsis, Trustee Grossi, of course your principal, Mrs. Kelly, and from the District 57, Mr. Prezy, and from the Garden Club, Terry Sierslawski. Thanks. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to have your principal come up and do a little introduction, and then we'll get started into the program. Thanks.
Well, welcome. We are so excited to be having the Mount Prospect Arbor Day ceremony here at Lions Park, and we are so glad that our 455 students could all participate in some way. This is a special day because not only are we getting a new tree to go in front of our school, but all of our students today will be taking home seedlings that they can plant to create 455 other new trees in Mount Prospect. Now, boys and girls, obviously if you don't have a good place to plant them where you live, you can talk to your parents about trying to connect with someone, maybe a family member or a friend who lives somewhere that would be a better place to plant a tree. But I'm thrilled that as a result of today, there will be so many new trees potentially coming up. Today, each of our grade levels has prepared something to do, and then all of our students will be participating in the singing. So at this time, I would like to invite up our second graders who are going to do a parade of trees. So second graders, when you come up, I think we should start with the front row of you. And our second graders are modeling the hats that they made. So I know you'll all enjoy seeing the unique hats each student created. The students will walk up here and then they can file right back into their seats. So they'll walk up this way and then go right back into their seats. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for our second grade students and their parade of trees. One thing I noticed as many of the kids were walking by, in addition to the fact that they all did it a little bit differently, I noticed that many of them had things on there that said, save the trees, use less paper. So that's a good reminder for all of us today as we celebrate trees. So well done, boys and girls. All right, at this time, I'd like to invite some third graders up. They are going to lead us in a rap about trees.
Let us tell you a story about a wonderful tree that grew for years as happy as could be, had plenty of rain for it to drink, and lots of room for its roots to sink. It had soil that was rich and sweet, and full of nutrients for it to eat.
Plenty of space to stretch and grow, nothing to hurt it high or low. It grew taller and wider and stronger too, and used carbon dioxide out of the blue. The leaves in the canopy waved in the wind, the roots pushed outward and anchored it in. The roots pushed outward and rounder too, and the branches stronger and longer grew.
The 21st century time to act. Raise your hand and make a pact. Conserve these parks and plant the trees. Make the world better for you and me.
The tree gathered borders as time went by. Birds and bugs and butterflies lived their lives among the leaves, sharing their space with a hive of bees. A raccoon or two set up a house. A squirrel found a spot, and so did a mouse. A worm and an ant, a place underground where they lived in peace without being found by birds and bugs that like to dine on worms and ants that taste so fine, fried. A family of beetles burrowed into the bark where they were safe and the world was dark until woodpeckers found them and went to work and pulled them out with a jerk, jerk, jerk. I hate it when that happens.
It's the 21st century time to act. Raise your hand and make a pact. Conserve these parks and plant a tree. Make the world better for you and me.
This tree has been around for a decade or three and provides great shade for you and me. We can build a tree house or tie a swing up in the branches and not hurt a thing. We can have a picnic and get out of the heat when we need to rest and are ready to eat. When a summer storm becomes a threat, we can hide under the branches and not get wet. The roots help keep the soil in place on the ground and out of our face. The sounds of the highway get lost in its leaves, and even a wind will change to a breeze.
It's the 21st century time to act. Raise your hand and make a pact. Conserve these parks and plant a tree. Make the world better for you and me.
This old tree has been a really great friend, but I know someday that it won't bend. It'll fall to the earth and spend its days getting to the soil in a million ways. As the old log rots and turns to ground, seeds will sprout and grow around. In the fertile soil the log will make, new growth will come and nature take everything she needs to redesign this rotting log into something fine. There's a job for you within this WAP. There's something you can do to fill the gap. Between the rotting log and the healthy tree, there's a wonderful opportunity. To provide the future with what you've had, figure it out and you'll be glad. Knowing how important this is to me, you can do one thing, plant a tree. Or two or three.
It's the 21st century time to act. Raise your hand and make a pact. Conserve your mind's fun and plant a tree. Make the world better for you and me.
And let's give a round of applause to our third graders for a wonderful Rappin About Trees. At this time, I'd like to invite us to do two things. Our fourth grade students have written shape poems, and we have some students who are going to come up and read theirs. But while they make their way up, I thought that it would be nice if everyone else held theirs up so that we can all admire the visuals of the shape poems. So these are poems written in the shape of trees. Fourth graders, if you don't mind turning them around to face the fifth graders after you've let the second and third graders see them, that would be great. All right, and then our readers can make their way up to the stage. All right, thank you, fourth graders. Let's give a round of applause to the fourth graders who created the shape poems that they just held up. And now I'd like everyone's attention for our readers.
There was a boy who was friends with a baobab tree. The boy would eat some of the fruit called monkey bread, or make drinks with the pulp of the fruit. He and his tree would play all day in the sun, until one day the baobab grew old. His tree started dropping out fruit with the seeds inside, and the baobab tree fell to the ground and was taken away. The seeds fell into the ground without the boy seeing. The boy was really sad that his tree was gone. He had lost his best friend. Now what was he going to do? Sometime later, the boy saw something sprouting where his old friend had fallen. Each day, the boy fed his new friend and waited to see what would come. A beautiful tree.
Weeping willow trees look so sad. Me and my dad say they look so sad because their hair, #leaves, is covering its face. So it looks like a human, but it's not a human. You can use it as a swing and act like Tarzan. They need a lot of water from the river and the lake. The reason they need a lot of water is so they can grow big, and they're also one of the biggest trees in the whole world.
Cherry blossoms. Cherry blossoms are known as sakura in Japanese. Their pale blossoms are a symbol of more than just spring. They stand for renewal and hope. For the Japanese and US, a cherry blossom is a symbol of friendship. Cherry blossoms were sent to the US from the Japanese to represent goodwill. The peak bloom happened on March 26th in Washington, D.C. The top perfume is the Japanese cherry blossom in Bath & Body Works.
The dragonblood is an evergreen tree found in Yemen and the Arabian Sea. The dragonblood looks like a giant mushroom, but in February the flowers will bloom. It releases red blood after it gets hurt, while the roots grow deep into the dirt. Produces small white-green flowers at the end of a bough. Tree grows only 3 feet every 10 years. Wow! The fruits take months to fully mature. Tree grows 33 to 39 feet in a blur. Found in elevations from 980 to 5,000 feet. Sap is used for lots of things. Looks too good to even eat. As the tree lives, warm temperatures it needs, while the fruit only carries 1 to 3 seeds. The dragonblood is an evergreen tree found in Yemen and the Arabian Sea.
Trees, the beautiful thing that fills our world, the thing that keeps us alive, helping us even before the world started. Every single day you meet one. Never pay attention to the tree that saves your life. They are always there no matter what. They will and always will keep you company, so when you pass by a tree, say thanks, for they have helped you and all of us so much. No matter what, without them we would not be us.
That's a great job by all the students. Everybody I know has worked really hard on this program, so good job. Just a little bit of history on Arbor Day and just the background. It's really something, it's a celebration that truly does have its roots in the Midwest and is closely tied to us. It was actually started in 1872 by a man, J. Sterling Morton, who had moved from Michigan to Nebraska. And when he got out there, he felt that the landscape was just void of trees. It wasn't something that he was used to. So he had come up with an idea to celebrate a day for tree planting. And this quickly moved into schools and began to be celebrated throughout the state. And today, it's celebrated in all of the United States, and a tradition that we carry on here today. The Arbor Day is important to us because it gives us the day to recognize the importance of trees and the value that they play in our community. It seems that there's always a threat to the urban forest or to trees, whether it be from disease or just that they're too old or they live too long in the urban environment or storms. So unfortunately, sometimes we have to take them down. But in this and planning for the future, we always look to be replacing the trees and planting trees. And in fact, in the past 3 years, we've planted a lot more trees than we've had to remove. So this is a trend that we hope to continue and something we plan to keep doing. Arbor Day gives us a chance to look at these replacement trees as the future of the urban forest. And this is important if we want to continue to have the tree-lined streets and the tree-filled community that we're so accustomed to that brings us so much beauty and value to our community. The trees that we plant and take care of actually provide us with a lot more value than it even costs to plant or maintain them. So why do we need trees? I'm sure over the past couple weeks of you guys have been preparing for your program, you've been going over these reasons. But of course, trees provide us with shade, with beauty, with oxygen. They provide us the habitat for wildlife and food for wildlife. They prevent or slow down stormwater runoff, and so many more. Because of our Forestry Grounds program, we received again this year the Tree City USA Award, and this is the 33rd time that we received this award. And in addition to that, this is the 14th time that our department has received the Growth Award. So this award is given out by the Arbor Day Foundation, which is an organization out of Nebraska, which not only promotes the planting of trees, but it also promotes and encourages municipalities and villages to take care of the trees. And to meet this criteria, we have to do a few things, such as hold an Arbor Day ceremony like we're doing here with you guys today. We have a mayoral proclamation to celebrate Arbor Day, and we have a department specifically designated to take care of these trees, which is your public works. So a comprehensive forestry program is what we have been awarded for here again today. So you can probably imagine that it costs a lot of money to take care of all these trees. So, and this doesn't happen without a very supportive mayor and a very supportive board. So at this particular time, I would like to thank the mayor and board. Thank you. For their ongoing support and their recognition of the Forestry Grounds program. And at this time, Mayor Juracek, I'd like to award you with our Arbor Day plaque.
Very good. Congratulations. Yes. Okay. Well, Dave said he was awarding me with the plaque. Actually, it's the whole village's plaque, because the whole village, the board, most of whom are up here with me today, the schools, everybody really supports the goals that we have of making the village of Mount Prospect a Tree City USA. I was most impressed this morning already with all of you. It's obvious that you've not only learned about trees and done your little projects, but you've had a huge amount of fun doing it. I particularly will remember the Weeping Willow poem, because with this wind, I feel like that Weeping Willow. The hairs in my face all over. But I am delighted to be back here at Lions Park School. Like Dave, I can remember the last time we were here doing an Arbor Day ceremony, so it's so cool that we can be back here again a second time. Every year we choose a different school in the village, and what's nice when you've been doing these over time is every time I pass a school, I remember the Arbor Day ceremony at that school, and I look for the Arbor Day tree. So the cool thing about this tulip tree here is you can look forward to seeing this tulip tree in the future. So I did a little bit of homework about tulip trees. Turns out that the eastern variety in the eastern United States was used by the Indians to make dugout canoes. So this is sometimes known as the dugout tree. But this tree can live for a very long time, some of them 200 or 300 years, and it can get very, very tall. So I think we can expect a 100-foot tall tree in front of your school. And it blooms every spring with flowers, yellow flowers, and it has beautiful tulip-shaped leaves. So it's going to be a landmark for you, not only as you are in school here at Lions Park, but as you grow up and maybe move from the village and return to the village and bring your families back to visit the school where you went to elementary school. Hopefully you'll be able to come to this tulip tree and say, it's the tree that I helped plant here in Mount Prospect on Arbor Day. So we thank you all so much for that. It does take a community to beautify the community, and I'm so glad that you are here, that we have the garden club here, our village board, many of your parents, your teachers, and I especially like that you're taking those seedlings home. Whether you plant them at your house or at a friend's house or at grandma's house or wherever you plant them, it's all part of this effort to plant one tree and plant a network of trees to keep us as a beautiful, ecologically friendly, environmentally conscious community. So I thank you for everything you've done. Your entertainment is fabulous, and I look forward, I think, to a few more presentations. So I'll turn the mic back over to your principal.
Thank you, Mary Juracek. We appreciate it, and we're glad you were able to join us here today. We do have one last grade level of students. So far today, we've gotten to see our students' artistic work, our students' musical ability, our students' writing ability, and now we're going to be able to see them perform a poem with their voices. So the fifth grade students who are performing may come up to the mic now.
Dear friends, stand tall and proud. Sink your roots deeply into the earth. Reflect the light of a greater source. Think long term. Go out on a limb.
I should have said before they started, they are giving advice from a tree.
Remember your place among all living beings. Embrace with joy the changing seasons, for each yields its own abundance.
The energy and birth of spring.
The growth and contentment of summer.
The wisdom to let go of leaves in the fall. The rest and quiet renewal of winter. Feel the wind and the sun, and delight in their presence. Look up at the moon that shines down upon you.
And the mystery of stars at night. Seek nourishment for good things in life, simple pleasures, earth, fresh air, light. Be content with your natural beauty.
Drink plenty of water, let your limbs sway and dance in the breeze. Be flexible. Remember your roots. Enjoy the view.
We can give one more round of applause for our fifth graders.
Again, really great job by the students. This is a very entertaining program, one of the most that I can remember in a long time. So you guys have done a fantastic job. But at this time, we're getting ready to, we'll go ahead and do the planting portion of the ceremony. So if I could get everybody up from stage, we'll come down and do the planting.
And at this time is when Bruce, Adam, Carly, and Cam can come up and join us as well.
We're going to start off with Mayor Juracek here. And Trustee Grossi. Trustee Sacatelli. Trustee Hatsis. Trustee Hofert. And we've got our Garden Club representative, Terry Slarslawski. And from District 57, Mr. Parisi. And your principal, Principal Kelly. And now we have our student representatives, if you guys want to come up. Okay.
All right, so we're starting with Adam Kazmarek. And Cam Glovier. Carly McGee. And Bruce Alcanjari.
We've got PW Paws here too. I know he always likes to get involved in the tree plantings, and then we'll have the crew will come up and they'll kind of finish up here what everybody started. And I'd like to just recognize a couple more people. Former Mayor Skip Farley is in the crowd today. Public Works Director Sean Dorsey, Deputy Director Jason Lieb, and former Village Forester Sandy Clark is here today too. So I thank everybody for coming out. And as the mayor has described the tree, this tulip tree has the potential to be a very large tree. So it really will be something to look forward to in the future and always kind of check back in on. And this is a beautiful tree. It already has a great start on reaching that 100 feet, I think. So I really appreciate the program that you guys put on today. I'd like to thank Principal Kelly, all the teachers from Lions Park, all the students from Lions Park. You did a fantastic job today. Really appreciate it. I'd like to thank the forestry ground staff. Without them, we really couldn't pull something like this off because they do a lot of work behind the scenes. And thanks.
All right, at this time, I'd like to invite up Ms. Ribel, and we are going to close with a rendition of America the Beautiful.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes our program for today. Again, I'd just like to thank everybody for their involvement, their preparation. It was a wonderful program. Thank you very much, and thanks for all the people up here on stage with me that came out to support us. Thank you very much.